Well, Adam, after a game that had absolutely everything, especially in the first half, your team's come out with a 3-2 win over Bamber Bridge. You must be delighted.
Very pleased, yeah. It was a very difficult game. They're a good side, as are we. And, I think following the draw on Saturday against Buxton, it was important with so many upcoming away games that we took maximum points tonight. And we've had to work incredibly hard for them, but delighted that we've managed to get them in the end.
You mentioned it, they're a good side. Were you nervous at all after the first 25 minutes or so? Because they looked really good, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I thought for probably the first 15-20 minutes, certainly the first 15 minutes, they were the better team. I thought they controlled the ball better, they passed the ball better, they looked a lot more cohesive than we did. However, in saying that, I think the 2 goals we've conceded I was disappointed with, because I felt we made errors in both of them. We knew that they had so much pace on the counter-attack. Obviously the striker and the 2 lads on the sides are very quick, and we knew that we had to be good in possession, and we weren't quite up to the pace of the game in that first 15-20 minutes, but managed to get back into it very quickly through a corner, which was pleasing. And outside of that, I thought we actually had some good chances ourselves in the first half. So yeah, it was good to get over that first initial 15 minutes.
Yeah, your team turned it right round, 2 goals in added time. First of all, start with a penalty. What was your view on that?
Penalty, right decision. I thought we should have had one before it actually on Ben Atkinson. I think Jimmy's nodded it down. Ben's gone through. He's clean through. I don't know why he'd go down. And then the penalty itself was a penalty all day long.
And Will Hayhurst, brilliant free kick from him. What was your reaction to that goal?
Pleased it went in. He's a top player, isn't he? He's got so much ability. He's got that in his locker, and I think he's played well the last few games. Actually, we've used him a little bit more central, and he's not always getting on the ball as much at times as he may do in a wide position. But his work rate from that position and his willingness to make runs off the ball to open space for Jimmy and the midfielders is brilliant. So he's a great striker. We're delighted for him.
In the second half, brilliant performance from your side. Were you pleased? You must be pleased with them being able to see the win out.
Yeah, I mean, at half time, once we managed to get our nose in front, we were able to control their counter attacks a little bit better. So we didn't want to overexpose ourselves searching for an extra goal. We felt that we'd get chances anyway. It was just a case of making sure that we were always overloaded defensively, and that we managed to delay their counters, and I thought we controlled that much better in the second half. It's easy when you're in front. When we were behind, we obviously took more chances to try and get back in the game, and that sometimes leaves you a little bit susceptible to counter attacks. But once we managed to get in front, we were able to control that aspect of their game a lot better, and I thought in the end that the players managed the game pretty well overall, and we were unlucky not to win it by maybe an extra goal.
Moving on to Saturday, trip to Farsley Bridge. After tonight's performance, you must be confident going into Saturday's game.
Yeah, well, I'd take the result that we got there last year. I thought we were outstanding last year, but they've had a bit of a turnaround in personnel. They've obviously got a new manager in. They play good football. It's a difficult place to go all the time, is Farsley Bridge, but we tend to do well on the road. I'm delighted really with our home form here, because a lot was made of that last year, and that game tonight was the type of game we'd have lost last season, and I think the players deserve a lot of credit for that. As you say, we've now got a tough game on Saturday at Farsley Bridge, and a tough run of upcoming games, but we'll just take one game at a time and go into it with confidence, try and get a good result, and move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mentioned it, home form. You're now unbeaten in 4 home games, so is this place starting to feel like a fortress?
I hope so. I think a big difference tonight, I think it's the first game that it's not been windy after the conditions that we had on Saturday. I think it was the windiest game it's ever been, and then we've come tonight and it's not windy at all. And I actually thought that the game was probably a better spectacle for the supporters as a result of that. But any team that does well in any division, you've got to do well at home, and it's pleasing that we've had a good run of home form, and hopefully we can take that little run that we've put together now into the upcoming away games.
Thank you, Adam, and good luck on Saturday.